Hi, everyone. It is me, Sailor Moon Serena here, and me, Sailor Mini Moon, Sailor Small Moon, Sailor Little Moon Reenie here. And today we're going to talk about, you know, if there is any kind of gatekeeping in the Sailor Moon followership. Because at first you might think there is, and you would be half right and half wrong. Like in any followership, you are going to come across you're going to come around folks who need be don't like your take on whatever that they happen to like that you happen to like. So you can be in the same followership and like the same thing, but doesn't mean that everybody is going to like you or like it the way you like it. So DUANE's take on Sailor Moon might not, most likely is not the Toei business take or Nako take and cheese take or anything like that. And there are some folks in the Sailor Moon followership that do make a big deal out of some things. Like, first off, if you say you like the Deep Glee Sailor Moon, they will say that some of them will get irked or angered. Some of them will say that you're not a true Sailor Moon follower if you like the Deep Glee Sailor Moon. And that tend to be the first thing out there, where the gatekeeping came from. And let's just say if that was the only thing that we had to deal with when we first started, it would have been all right. Well, all right. So let's say that you bring in a new sailor fighter or a sailor keeper to Sailor Moon, which wasn't in the books or the game or the drawing show or the drawing films, or the film games or the plays or song plays or anything like that. Well, that seemed to at least irk one follower of the Sailor Moon followership, because DUANE had Ernest P. Worrell be Sailor Earth, and that seemed to make one Sailor Moon follower out there irked and angered. Let's put a little background to this. So, this Sailor Moon follower, we're not going to say her name or her handle, but we'll just say back around 2010 YL or even 2011 YL, around that time, I don't know. Could have been even earlier than that, but I want to think it was that. Is that this Sailor Moon follower, started gatekeeping on us and telling us, oh, well, you can't say anything bad about the Toei Sailor Moon. First off, I wouldn't say anything bad about it. If that was what she liked and that's the one she liked to watch, great for her. Wouldn't say anything bad about it, wasn't scathing it in any way, but that's what she thought DUANE was doing. So anytime DUANE made a film about, Deep Glee Sailor Moon or Pioneer Glee Sailor Moon, and it went against what she believed about it, she would get irked and angered. It was even bad. It got to the grounds where she's like, do you want me to unfollow you? Like unfollowing someone is like, oh, the worstest thing you can do on Euro. I don't think so. So she could have unfollowed DUANE if she wanted. Well, this gets good. You want to bring this up now? All right, I will. So Sailor Moon Serena, this is what happened. So then she makes a film, bitching and ranting and scathing DUANE for how dare he bring Ernest P. Worrell as Sailor Earth. And as he's seeking to slight Nako Takeuchi or Takenshi, however you say her name, And the answer is no. It was never meant to be a slight. It was never meant to be a knock on or anything like that. She's the one who, by mistake, started gatekeeping, started believing that at all. And even though later on forgivenesses were given this film was made, about it. And then she goes on her thing about how she thought that I was sliding Naku Takachi, Takenchi, or however you say her kin name. And that was another thing, There was never no need for that gatekeeping. And yeah, she is back on Euro again. And sadly, I had to block and hush her and forbid her again because I was making a film talking about the whole, whole Ernest Sailor Earth and how that was a big deal. And she's like, "You're still talking about this years later?" Yes, I'm still talking about it years later, And then goes on to talk about other things, but I wasn't going to get into it with her, So anyway, at the end of the day, that might have been the only gatekeeping that ever happened. Mostly all the Sailor Moon followers and the Sailor Moon followership get along. They don't all like the same things, and some of them don't like others' takes, but at least they're more onlooking about it than some. So, yeah, DUANE's take on Sailor Moon, or what he does on his fairway, might not be the same take that Toei had. It might not be the Deep Glee take, the Pioneer Glee take, the Cliverway and Business take, Viz News take, or Renaissance Atlantic or Newburgh Great Sea Glee's take on Sailor Moon. Who really cared? The whole gatekeeping thing, it was just overplayed. So, the only last time that gatekeeping ever came up in a Sailor Moon followership, and it happened to be on X, formerly Twitter or Gilgil, but now X. So, someone sends me something on X, this may have been a year ago, I don't know, saying, "Oh, why don't you stop saying those names? Say the right names." Well, they are the right names in the Deep Glee world and the Pioneer Glee world. They are the same names. The Pathseeker Glee world, they are the right names. Telling folks or behaving as if they're not true Sailor Moon followers or guilting them or shaming them for which offshoot of Sailor Moon they like or grew up with or whatever, well, that's wrong. All right? And I would like to say that most of the folks in the Sailor Moon followership, get along. Well, that would not be true. Some do, some don't. And at the end of the day, it is what it is. So that's just my take on, the gatekeeping that happened to DUANE, in the Sailor Moon followership, and how most of the folks in the Sailor Moon followership, get along, even if they do not like, even if they don't like, even if their take on Sailor Moon Neeby's not the same. Well, you're right, Sailor Mini Moon, Sailor Small Moon, Sailor Little Moon Reenie. You're right about that. So I was just making a film talking about the gatekeeping that happened in the Sailor Moon followership. This would have been either 2010 while 2011 while, I don't know when, but it may have been 2010 while, I believe. Yeah, that's most likely when it happened. But it may even started, even earlier than that. So that's how it goes. Tell me what you think about it. And did you ever have to deal with gatekeeping in the Sailor Moon followership for what you did? Let me know what you think about that. I, Sailor Moon Serena, and I, Sailor Mini Moon, Small Moon, Little Moon Reenie, and we'll see you later.